Have you ever noticed how a short rest during the day can completely change the way your body feels? You sit down for just 10 minutes, close your eyes, and suddenly the tension in your shoulders eases, your breath softens, and even the pain in your knees feels less sharp. It's as if someone quietly flipped a switch inside you. The world slows down, and so does the storm that's been running through your mind all morning. Most people think naps are just a way to catch up on lost sleep or kill time on lazy afternoons. But new research shows that something far deeper and far more healing is happening when you take those tiny breaks. It turns out that your body runs a hidden repair system that activates not only during deep nighttime sleep, but also during brief, quiet pauses in the day. These short pauses, often called micro-rests or power naps, are now being recognized by neuroscientists as one of the most powerful natural recovery tools, especially for older adults whose bodies are constantly fighting the wear and tear of age. You see, your body never truly turns off. Every heartbeat, every breath, every movement is a tiny energy exchange. And over time, that energy use creates stress in your cells, microscopic damage that needs constant repair. When you rest, even briefly, your brain interprets that stillness as a message: we're safe, you can heal now. This single message activates a chain reaction. Stress hormones begin to drop, blood circulation improves, inflammation quiets down, and your immune system steps forward to clean up and rebuild. It's a process as natural as breathing, yet most of us ignore it, forcing ourselves to stay busy, sipping coffee to push through exhaustion, and assuming rest is weakness. But here's the truth scientists are now confirming. Micro-rest isn't laziness, it's maintenance. Just as a mechanic stops the engine before fixing it, your body needs these engine-off moments to do its internal work. And for seniors, this natural repair system becomes even more vital. With age, cells take longer to heal, the brain's electrical circuits lose some flexibility, and chronic inflammation starts to slow everything, from digestion to joint mobility. That's why understanding how to use short naps and micro-rests effectively can mean the difference between feeling drained all day or feeling calmly energized. But before we dive deeper, there's one more secret to this process. It depends on your metabolic stability, especially your blood sugar levels. If your blood sugar spikes and crashes throughout the day, your nervous system stays stuck in fight or flight. And when that happens, the healing switch never turns on. So if you've recently started cutting down on sugar, maybe you've been following our last discussion about quitting sugar for 14 days, you've already taken the first step. Reducing sugar helps your body find calm. Adding micro-rest on top of that gives your system the perfect environment to heal. Today, let's explore the first two secrets behind this process. Two areas where micro-rest changes the body in ways that full-length sleep sometimes can't. The first one happens inside your brain.
The brain's hidden reset switch. Think of your brain as a busy city at night. Millions of lights flicker on and off. Cars move in all directions, and the noise never really stops. Now imagine what happens when the power grid starts to overload. Lights flicker, circuits heat up, and systems begin to fail. That's what stress does to your brain. Every thought, worry, and decision uses electrical energy. When you never pause, that grid never cools down. Researchers at Stanford University and Harvard Medical School discovered that short naps, as brief as 10 to 20 minutes, can reset those circuits. They trigger a rapid shift in brainwave activity, from the fast, sharp beta waves that dominate when you're alert or anxious, to the slower alpha and theta waves linked with calmness, creativity, and healing. Within minutes, the entire brain begins to resync. It's like hitting the refresh button on a frozen computer. Suddenly, everything starts to flow smoothly again. What's remarkable is that this shift doesn't require deep sleep. You don't even need to drift off completely. Just closing your eyes and allowing silence is enough to activate a part of your nervous system called the parasympathetic system, the one responsible for rest and repair. As this system takes control, glial cells, the brain's cleanup crew, start removing toxins and waste proteins that build up during stress. Levels of cortisol, the main stress hormone, begin to fall. Blood flow increases to memory-related areas like the hippocampus. Even your heartbeat becomes more rhythmic and efficient. Studies have shown that older adults who practice micro-rest during the day report sharper mental clarity, fewer headaches, and more emotional stability. Their brains, in effect, become better at switching between on and off, a flexibility that often fades with age. If you've ever felt mentally foggy after long hours of television, phone scrolling, or news watching, this is why. Your brain hasn't been given a true off signal, only a low-energy, distracted one. But 10 minutes of deliberate, quiet rest, eyes closed, slow breathing, perhaps gentle background music, sends a very different message. It's time to restore balance. Now, here's where the connection to sugar becomes critical again. High sugar levels make neurons overactive and less responsive to calming signals. It's like running an engine too hot. It never cools enough to be tuned. When you stabilize your blood sugar by eating whole foods, fiber, and staying hydrated, the brain enters alpha and theta states more easily. That's why seniors who balance their diet and rest together often feel lightheaded but peaceful after naps. It's not dizziness, it's the brain releasing built-up tension and realigning its internal rhythm. Imagine a radio trying to find the right frequency. For years, noise and static have filled your mind. Now, through simple, short rests, you're turning the dial slowly toward a clearer, calmer signal, your true baseline. This electrical reset is the first layer of healing that micro-rest offers. But the benefits don't end in the brain. They ripple outward, reaching your body's most stubborn pain points, the joints that carry your weight and bear your years of movement. Micro-rest and joint repair. For anyone over 50, joint stiffness is almost like a daily companion. You wake up with tight knees, stretch a little, feel better for a moment, then the ache creeps back as the day goes on. Doctors call it wear and tear, but biology tells a more hopeful story. Your joints are living tissues, flexible, adaptive, and surprisingly capable of regeneration. Each joint is surrounded by synovial fluid, a clear liquid that works like natural oil, reducing friction and nourishing cartilage. During continuous activity, walking, cleaning, sitting upright for hours, that fluid becomes more viscous and less effective. Tiny cracks begin forming in the cartilage, and your immune system sends inflammation to fix them. The trouble is, inflammation doesn't know when to stop. It keeps sending heat, pressure, and swelling, which over time cause more pain than healing. Now here's the magic part. When you take short, intentional rests, your body redirects circulation from surface muscles to deeper connective tissues. That gives your joints a chance to drain waste and pull in nutrients. Even a simple 15-minute nap can reduce inflammatory markers like IL-6 and TNF-alpha by nearly 20% in older adults. That's comparable to what some mild anti-inflammatory medications achieve without the side effects. The process begins within minutes. As your heart rate slows, capillaries open wider, allowing oxygen-rich blood to reach areas that rarely get it when you're upright and tense. White blood cells start removing damaged molecules. Meanwhile, growth factors like IGF-1, the same hormone that supports muscle and cartilage growth, get a quiet window to do their work. All of this depends on one thing: stillness. Not complete immobility, but genuine rest. No phone in hand, no mental multitasking. When you allow stillness, your body stops using energy for defense and starts using it for repair. It's fascinating how evolution built this into our wiring. In the wild, animals don't power through exhaustion. They rest between hunts or flights because their survival depends on efficiency. Human bodies share that same biology, but modern life tricks us into thinking productivity equals movement. In reality, healing equals stillness. For seniors, this truth is even more profound. Your body has wisdom stored in every joint and tendon. Decades of motion, adaptation, and microdamage that only needs proper recovery signals to heal. Micro-rest gives that signal. And again, sugar plays a hidden antagonist. Excess glucose binds to collagen, the protein responsible for your joint's flexibility, and makes it stiff and brittle through a process called glycation. When that happens, even small movements feel tight and inflammation rises. By reducing sugar and embracing microrests, you're tackling both sides of the problem. Less damage to collagen, more opportunity for your body to repair what's already worn. This is why people who adopt both habits, stable diet and scheduled mini-naps, often report something remarkable after just a few weeks. Their morning stiffness fades faster, their gait becomes lighter, and their joints feel younger. It's not a miracle. It's biology finally allowed to work properly. Imagine a bridge being repaired while traffic keeps moving. Slow, noisy, inefficient. That's your body when you never stop. But when you pause, even briefly, the repair crew can finally do its job without interruption. If you build small rest windows into your day, after breakfast, early afternoon, or just before dinner, your joints will begin to thank you in quiet ways. You'll stand up with less hesitation, bend with more confidence, and perhaps even notice that long-forgotten ease returning to your steps. It's a gentle kind of strength, one built not from pushing harder, but from pausing wisely. Now that the mind and joints have had their quiet tune-up, let's look at the next hidden system that springs to life when you let your body rest, the one written right across your face. Have you ever noticed how someone looks instantly younger after a peaceful nap? Their skin softens, the lines around the eyes fade a little, and there's a healthy tone that no cream or filter can match. That glow isn't an illusion. It's your skin's repair circuitry switching on. The skin's regeneration window. Every inch of your skin is alive. Underneath the outer layer, the one you can see in the mirror, millions of cells are dividing, repairing, and pushing upward like a living conveyor belt. Normally, this happens at night, but research shows that short daytime rest periods can accelerate that renewal by improving blood flow and lowering oxidative stress. When you lie back and your heart rate slows, the skin's microcapillaries open up. More oxygen, more nutrients, more antioxidants reach the dermis. This fresh supply allows fibroblast cells, the architects that build collagen and elastin, to get back to work. Collagen is what gives skin its firmness. Elastin gives it bounce. Both are slowly damaged over years by UV light, stress hormones, and sugar molecules that stiffen them like dried glue. When deep rest, your body starts a cleaning process called autophagy, removing old proteins so new collagen can form. You don't need an hour-long nap for this. Studies from Seoul National University and the University of Manchester show that even 15 to 20 minutes of calm rest increases skin hydration and reduces transepidermal water loss, meaning your skin holds moisture better. That's why seniors who nap regularly often look more vibrant despite their age. Their cells are literally better hydrated. Cortisol, that ever-present stress hormone, is a quiet saboteur of beauty. It breaks down collagen and slows wound healing.
But micro-rest lowers cortisol faster than almost any supplement. When cortisol drops, your skin's immune defenses strengthen, protecting you from small infections and irritations that often show up as redness or rashes. And remember the connection with sugar again. High glucose levels create advanced glycation end products, AGEs, toxic compounds that make skin fibers stiff and yellow. By reducing sugar and adding mini-rests, you're tackling both sides of the problem. Less damage to collagen, more opportunity for your body to repair what's already worn. This is why people who adopt both habits, diet and mini-naps, often report something remarkable after just a few weeks. Their morning stiffness fades faster, their gait becomes lighter, and their joints feel younger. It's a gentle kind of strength, one built not from pushing harder, but from pausing wisely. This effect is especially helpful for older adults whose skin renewal rate has slowed. When you rest, your melatonin levels rise slightly, even in daylight. Melatonin isn't only a sleep hormone, it's a powerful antioxidant that shields skin cells from UV and pollution damage. So that gentle afternoon nap in a sunny room, it's not wasted time. It's your skin using sunlight plus stillness to recharge its protective systems. You're giving your body permission to restore its outer glow from the inside out. The beauty of this mechanism is its simplicity. You don't need expensive serums or strict routines. You only need consistency, small daily pauses that let your body remember how to repair itself. Now let's step deeper, beyond the skin, into something subtler. How those same pauses reshape your emotional landscape and hormonal rhythm.
Emotional balance and hormone harmony. Fatigue doesn't only live in muscles or joints. It hides inside your emotions, too. You know that drained feeling that appears for no reason? The sudden irritability, the anxiety that shows up when nothing is actually wrong? That's often your brain's chemistry crying out for balance. Inside your body is a complex hormonal orchestra. Cortisol, serotonin, dopamine, melatonin, oxytocin, all playing together to keep you calm, focused, and motivated. But chronic activity, endless noise, and lack of rest throw this orchestra out of tune. Here's what scientists are now discovering. Micro-rest realigns that rhythm. When you close your eyes and let go for a few minutes, the hypothalamus, the small region in your brain that controls hormones, interprets that as a cue to reset. Cortisol levels begin to fall. Serotonin, your contentment hormone, starts to rise. Dopamine, linked with motivation and reward, finds a smoother baseline. That's why you often wake from a nap not only rested, but lighter, more optimistic. It's biochemical. In seniors, this effect can be dramatic. Age naturally blunts the body's cortisol rhythm. It stays too high for too long, disrupting sleep and appetite. Regular brief rests help restore that wave. High in the morning for alertness, low by evening for calm. At the same time, micro-rest boosts heart rate variability, HRV, the subtle difference between each heartbeat that signals your nervous system is flexible and resilient. High HRV means your body can shift easily between effort and relaxation. Low HRV is linked to stress, inflammation, and faster aging. Short naps can increase HRV by up to 30% in older adults, effectively giving their nervous system the agility of someone decades younger. And then there's oxytocin, the gentle hormone of connection. Quiet moments of stillness, especially if paired with slow breathing or gratitude reflection, can trigger oxytocin release. This not only improves mood, but also lowers blood pressure and reduces feelings of loneliness, something many seniors quietly struggle with. So each time you rest, you're not just recharging your muscles, you're recalibrating your entire emotional control panel.
You're telling your body, we can relax now. The danger is gone. Pair that with a low-sugar diet, and your hormonal system truly thrives. Because sugar highs and crashes tug those same hormones in the opposite direction, spiking dopamine, crashing serotonin, elevating cortisol. Removing the roller coaster and adding gentle rest creates emotional stability that feels like peace rather than excitement. That's the real goal. Not constant energy, but balanced energy. The kind that lets you move through your day calm, alert, and steady. There's even evidence that micro-rest improves memory and emotional recall. In one study from the University of Düsseldorf, participants who napped for just 6 minutes showed better memory retention and emotional control than those who stayed awake. 6 minutes! That's less time than it takes to scroll through the news. For seniors who may worry about forgetfulness, these findings are powerful. It means your brain still remembers how to heal. You only need to give it the silence it's been missing. Each nap becomes a miniature meditation, a practice of letting go. You release tension, soften the breath, and allow your internal systems to synchronize again. Over weeks, that synchronization becomes visible. You react less to stress, your blood pressure eases, and even your relationships feel calmer. Because when your hormones are balanced, you interact with the world from clarity instead of fatigue. And that's where the deepest benefit of micro-rest appears, in the quiet confidence that grows from being in tune with yourself.
The gentle return. So what does all this mean for you, the senior who's lived through decades of busy mornings, sleepless nights, and endless responsibility? It means you've earned the right to rest, and not as an indulgence, but as essential medicine. Your body is not failing you, it's waiting for you to pause long enough to listen. Those small pockets of silence, a nap after lunch, 10 minutes of eyes closed breathing by the window, a slow sit in your favorite chair, are not wasted time. They're your body's language for healing. Every time you honor that language, systems that have been working overtime begin to calm. Your brain rewires for clarity, your joints release stiffness, your skin glows, your heart rhythm softens, and your mood lifts from the inside like sunlight rising after a long fog. You start to realize that energy isn't something you chase with caffeine or sugar, it's something you uncover by stepping out of your own way. 2 weeks without sugar cleared your bloodstream. Now 2 weeks of micro-rest can clear your nervous system. Together, they form the foundation of graceful aging, calm metabolism, clear mind, steady heart. Imagine what life could feel like if you scheduled rest with the same respect you give to meals or medication. A 10-minute micro-rest mid-morning, a short nap after lunch, a few deep breaths before bed. These rituals aren't luxuries, they're investments. Every pause is a message to your body that it can trust you again, that it doesn't have to keep defending, racing, or compensating. And once the body trusts you, it begins to heal faster than you thought possible. Think of the elderly craftsmen who sharpen their tools before each use. They don't rush, they prepare. Your body works the same way. Every rest sharpens your internal tools so you can move through life with ease instead of strain. When you give yourself permission to rest, you're not stepping away from life, you're stepping deeper into it. You're aligning with the rhythm nature intended. Effort followed by recovery, sound followed by silence, action followed by reflection. This is the balance our ancestors knew but modern life made us forget. And now, you're remembering. So as you finish watching this video, don't just take the information, take action. Close your eyes for 5 minutes. Let your breath slow. Let your shoulders drop. Let the world spin without you for a moment. Feel your pulse soften. Feel the tiny hum inside your body quiet down. That's not laziness. That's healing in progress.
Because health isn't built only in motion, it's built in the stillness between motions. And sometimes, the most powerful medicine doesn't come from a pill, a diet, or a doctor's office. It comes from your willingness to stop. You've spent years giving your energy to the world. Now it's time to give a little of it back to yourself. The nap you take today could repair tomorrow's strength. The silence you keep this afternoon could rewrite decades of exhaustion. And perhaps in those quiet moments, you'll rediscover something you lost along the way. That deep sense of calm, gratitude, and connection that makes life not just longer, but richer. So rest well. You're not falling behind, you're catching up with yourself. And when you wake, refreshed and light, remember this simple truth. Your body was never broken. It just needed you to pause long enough to let it heal. Age Well Daily, helping you rediscover your strength, one simple rest at a time.